Why, hiya folks, Scott here. I was going to make a video Sunday afternoon right before TLC. And had I done that, I would have been hailed a prophet in the wrestling community, because I might have called Sheamus's win. Here's the thing about the Sheamus win. This voice in the back of my head said, I will bet you Vince McMahon, after hearing the wrestling community's his fan base's reaction to Sheamus' becoming #1 contender, all the people saying, oh, this is too much, it's too soon, you know, whatever. I'll bet you Vince McMahon is going to give him the belt simply because Vince wants to show that he stands by his decision. That was my thought. I don't know if I would have put money on it, but that was definitely a thought in my head, and that's what happened. Do I like it? Not really, because this is the problem. And this is a problem that I have with Sheamus and with a lot of the new guys on ECW, and I guess that's where all the new guys are in WWE. But also TNA. I've been watching TNA more and more lately, and I've got to say, for the majority of their roster, I just simply don't care. I don't know if it's because the wrestlers don't sell themselves well, if their personalities don't pop and therefore don't draw me in. I don't know if the writers, if it's a creative issue, that the writers are not placing the people in proper, in places to make us care. I don't know. But, every week Matt Morgan comes out, and I know on TNA, I know I'm supposed to adore Matt Morgan. I'm supposed to worship him. But I just don't. There's just nothing there for me. And that's how I am with Sheamus. I know that they want me to think Sheamus is a big bad dude and really care. It just doesn't happen. Getting into Raw, I'm gonna try to make this very logical as I work my way into the Great Khali made his Raw return, and the reason this jumped out at me was the Great Khali is somebody that I went from not caring about to caring about. Mark Henry the same way. Why the change? I guess Khali, because I don't know. I just really like him as a face, but as a heel, it was just, okay, here we go, he's going to come in and slaughter somebody, and that's it. I don't know, and again, I guess I'm not savvy enough, and I'm not in the business, therefore, I don't have to know the answers. So, but that's my problem with Sheamus. He doesn't cut a great promo, and he just doesn't have the aura or the persona of this big bad dude, which they're trying to make us think he is. Did you notice I said dude? Does that prove to you that I'm cool? Now, Raw. Now this was the Slammies. Now I do have to mention that the WWE review guys began 2 years ago the Wrestlies. Now this is the coveted Wrestly statuette. And in the same way that the Golden Globes are the precursors to the Oscars, so are the Slammies the precursors to the Wrestlies. Now, we may or may not do the Wrestlies this year. I'm still in talks with Chris's people to see if something can be worked out there. I don't know. We'll just see. But I will say I liked a lot of the Slammy winners. Now, breakout star was Sheamus. Again, you just rewind and listen to what I just said, because that's my feeling on Sheamus. But Sheamus comes out, oddly enough, his voice is very scratchy now. And just like Drew McIntyre has probably been working at the dog track, I bet he brought Sheamus in too, saying, hey, this has done wonders for my career. I don't do accents, the Scottish or Irish. Fella, that's my Sheamus impression. Hey there, fella. You think you're the champ, fella? Not good, but I entertain myself that way. So that's that. Cody, Kofi, DB. Oh yeah, so it's Cody and Kofi. And then DiBiase comes in. Bourne comes to defend Kofi. So they restart the whole thing as a tag match. And I'm watching and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to wind up. Bourne is going to pin. Who was it? Was it Cody? for the win. And then I realized right before the event happened, I realized, wait, that's right, Evan Bourne never wins. Duh. See, this is another thing, another business thing. On the one hand, you've got people who need to win more than others. Like, and we'll talk Morrison in a minute, which saddened me greatly. But people, if you have The Miz versus Morrison, let's say, The Miz needs more of a bump from the win. He needs to, his popularity needs to go, would go up from, or in popularity, his overall thing. So in that sense, the legacy guys needed to beat Bourne, who is more popular. The problem is when you have somebody like Bourne losing continuously. You know, it seems like their credibility as a contender goes down the tubes, and you know they're not going to be as exciting anymore. Just my thought, and that's what bothers me about what's happening with. Yeah. Now let's see what all happens next. Punk versus Cena. Cena beat Punk. Let's see. Oh, did you notice the screaming girl? There was one girl. In fact, I think they showed her. And I guess they left the camera there so the microphone could continue picking up the screeching of this girl when John Cena appeared. It bothered me. I would have turned that thing off. So let's see. The match of the year, Slammy, went to HBK versus Undertaker, which was the only possible match that one could even possibly consider. Then HBK looks in the camera. This was an exciting moment for me. Electric. Shawn Michaels says, "I can beat you. I'll do it again next year." At WrestleMania, which you would think that would be right at the. So now that was a moment that was great. But knowing that Undertaker was coming out later, I thought that maybe Undertaker would have commented on it. But it was something that was out there, and then it was just left hanging over our heads. In the same way that, oh, let's see. So just going in order, Orton beat Undertaker with some trickery. Then the next Slammy was guest host of the year, Bob Barker. Again, the only one. Now I was pleased. Seth Green, I think Seth Green and Bob Barker are my favorites. So, Seth and Bob, you might be looking at I don't know. Anyway, so Bob Barker gives this heartfelt speech, which was great. But then Vince comes out and says, or Vince was out, and he said. Or who said it? Somebody said Bret Hart could be a guest host. I was thinking this is the announcement for The Rock on January 4th, which, by the way, as an aside, I go back and forth thinking this is huge for TNA to be up against Raw on the 4th, and then I say it really doesn't matter at all. Because I think that your main WWE, the main fan base, the people who just make up the masses, the multitudes, are probably not going to switch the channel from John Cena, who, by the way, we've got to talk about John Cena. Yeah. I've got to mention that. Oh my goodness, my time is so short. Anyway, so I don't know how many people will really turn away from Cena and all of their favorite guys to go to, and Batista or whoever, to go to TNA on that night. The thing about Cena is this. I'm really running way short on time. So, Cena, after he beat Punk, gave that promo. Oh yeah, so again, left hanging in the air, is Bret Hart gonna host? I don't know. Cena gives this promo saying he's not gonna quit, he's not gonna give up on you, and because you didn't give up on me, things like that. And I thought it was a great promo. In fact, this has changed my opinion of Cena, because Cena is somebody that can make people care just in his delivery. My only problem with this is that, if I'm not mistaken, he has still not cashed in his rematch clause for his rematch for the title. So while he's standing here and being all intense and saying, "I will not lose until I get my title back," and talking as if this could be months away, I'm just thinking, John, why not just say, "I want my rematch"? Sounds easy to me. Unless I misunderstood and he was saying that he was foregoing his rematch. Remember when he said, my rematch will be Sunday night? Is that that threw me off, and I was moved at first, and then I logically said, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, let's move on, because time is almost up to John Morrison. His team won, and Yoshi got the pin in a match that lasted about 20 seconds. I don't know. I kind of feel the same. I like McIntyre better than Sheamus, but I still put them in the same boat in terms of that. In terms of just, I'm not quite there yet. It just isn't happening yet. So, time is up. It was a very long Raw, and I guess I rambled a lot about a lot of stuff, but I gotta go, and I will talk to you all very soon. And yeah, adios.